So for that evidence, I was 14 and our neighbor told us that a rich Arab boy was looking for a bride. We went to meet him. He was not a boy, he was 62. So yeah, even the neighbors essentially sell them. And she was married with a no-frill ceremony. The man who paid her mother 30,000 rupees, so $460. Not a whole lot, especially since that she's pretty much a slave to him. So another pretty big thing is that in these small villages, women who are taken by human traffickers now can't repopulate or bring a new workforce to this village. So, like for example, in the state of Hiranya, where there's only 830 girls for every 1,000 boys, and it's really scary for what this does to the workforce, or what this does to the population. And there's a lot of implications involved because of this, and again, traffic overseas. So it's a lot of these women, they don't get trafficked by Indians in India. It's a overseas problem. That's why it's a very threatening problem, especially since it's not a huge, large organization that does this. It's usually one to like a couple of men who go in and get these girls and sell them to usually people from the Gulf Coast, so Arab people who end up paying very, very little for what they're getting. So for the evidence for the solution, this is from the Human Trafficking Institute, so pretty reliable. And the root cause of human trafficking is human traffickers. So even though, yes, there are causes, there are effects with poverty and lack of education and the immigration policy, the main head of the snake, per se, is human traffickers. And cutting off the head of the snake solves the whole problem, really. And it's not that this is something like hunger or like poverty or like a lack of education, but it's a top-down change. This is something where as soon as you just spread the word to all these local politicians in India, they usually will respond to it. And how you do that is with social media. So WhatsApp is very large and really prominent in India. There's a lot of news that comes to America that really aren't anything big, and they still come here and they still make the front pages. Something like this, where it is solvable, we can fix it, could be a good sign, especially since people don't really support poverty and don't really support lack of education, don't unsupport it, really, since it's very hard to solve. So it's something that is solvable, and it's something that we should be able to do as teenagers.